Yes, I'm wearing an Iron Man 2 t-shirt, and that's because I got it for free at the ArcLight. God, I love that theater.
Could we pick up now where we left off? Mr. Stark, please.
Yes, dear.
Could I have your attention?
Absolutely.
Our priority here is to have you turn over the Iron Man weapon to the American people.
Well, you can forget it.
We're safe. America is secure. You want my property? You can't have it. But I did you a big favor. I have successfully privatized world peace.
We're adjourned for the day. You've been a delight.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Review, episode number 324. And the film I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today is Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 is directed by Jon Favreau, who also directed the first one. It stars Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle replacing Terrence Howard. We have Mickey Rourke, Sam Rockwell, Scarlett Johansson, Samuel L. Jackson, just a ton of people, lots of cameos here and there. Jon Favreau even has his own little small part in the film, and keep your eyes open for Stan Lee towards the beginning. Iron Man 2 basically picks up right where the first one left off. Tony Stark has revealed himself to be Iron Man to the public. He's dealing with the government and them wanting the Iron Man weapon, as they call it, for their own and to kind of use it as a weapon in the military. He says, "You can't have it, it's mine." There's a villain, Whiplash, played by Mickey Rourke, whose father was kind of double-crossed by Tony Stark's father, they believe, and he's kind of out for vengeance against Tony Stark. You also have a whole cast of other people. Don Cheadle's wanting to get on part of the action as War Machine. Scarlett Johansson shows up in a very minor role. Sam Rockwell is playing Hammer, and he's kind of the business villain, I guess I would call him, of the film. And he's very snarky and smarmy throughout the entire picture, and he's trying to develop these kind of droids along with Whiplash that will defeat Iron Man and show the world that we don't need Iron Man, we can just create it on our own. Iron Man 2 is a very worthy sequel, I would say, and I don't think that that the first Iron Man is the fantastic superhero movie to end all movies by any means. I think the first Iron Man, for me, is exactly what I want out of a popcorn entertainment superhero action flick. I think it does everything spot on, pitch perfect, entertained me from beginning to end. And I remember walking out of that first one going like, yeah, like this is awesome. It's very entertaining stuff. The second one, I think, has some problems, and I don't think that it's as good as the first one. But I do still think that it's a pretty solid film. And I think the main reason why Iron Man 2 works so well is that you have Robert Downey Jr. playing Tony Stark, and he is fantastic in the role. Every single sarcastic line that comes out of his mouth is just spot on. All of his one-liners work. They're very funny. And I think the thing that works best about Iron Man 2 is that they have collected this cast of people that I think anybody acting opposite Robert Downey Jr. is going to have a tough time, because the guy is a fantastic actor, and usually when you have a fantastic actor acting opposite somebody else, he makes the other person not look so great. Not the case here, and I think Sam Rockwell's performance in the film is really what kept me engaged in the film, and I think that he is a fantastic actor, and I think he plays the part of Hammer so perfectly in this film. Mickey Rourke has kind of a quiet, you know that this guy is creepy and gross, and he is going to destroy some stuff, quality to him that works really well throughout the film. Gwyneth Paltrow is fine in the film. Scarlett Johansson, I could take her or leave her. I'm going to get more into that in a second. But I think the cast that's acting throughout this entire film works really well, and I think the script is also very funny. I think it's funnier than the first one, and I think at that level it works very well. And this is kind of where I get into a little bit of complaints, and I'm going to go full-blown complaints in a second. But Iron Man 2 does not have as much action as you would have expected from a superhero film, let alone a superhero film where you're watching the previews and you're like, wow, this has Mickey Rourke, Scarlett Johansson, Don Cheadle, and Robert Downey Jr. going side by side as War Machine and Iron Man. There's not that much action throughout the entire film, but that being said, the film moves along at a nice pace, and I was very engaged and entertained throughout the whole thing, even though most of it is dialogue and talking, and it's not, you know, this isn't Kick-Ass where it's all these crazy action sequences back to back, and it all works very well. My problems, though, with Iron Man 2 is that I think I liked the simplicity of the first one a lot better, and I think that's what worked for me for the first one, is that It was about Tony Stark becoming Iron Man. He had to fight off a villain. That was your movie, and it went along and really went into his character. And I think they've tried to throw in so many different characters. I mean, obviously the Scarlett Johansson character of Black Widow, who is not even named in the film as Black Widow, she's there to be in the sequel. They're setting her up for something else. They have this whole thing with the Avengers Initiative that is fine, great. They're going to have an Avengers movie, and it's pleasing the fanboy nation, but it's not necessary in this movie. And I think you could have taken out all of that stuff. You could have taken out Scarlett Johansson's little bit that she has in the film, and I think you would have had a much tighter, much more concise, and much better film, in my opinion. I do still think Iron Man 2 is a worthy time at the movies. It's worth your hard-earned cash to go sit down, have an entertaining time. Robert Downey Jr. is fantastic. Sam Rockwell needs to be in so many more movies. That guy's amazing. I give Iron Man 2 a 4 out of 5. I think it's a very solid superhero film, but I don't think that it is incredibly fantastic, but it's still a solid movie nonetheless. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another one for you. Thanks.